The way I am going to try my hardest in the next coming month, I'm going to say the month of like May, or maybe like the second week of May, okay? I'm going to try to tone down my Ash Trevino talk. Only because, look, okay, I know I keep saying this, like, I don't want to do overkill, and I feel like I do probably about, I would say I do 2 videos about Ash Trevino, like, every 10 days, which I know, okay, to a lot of people isn't really that much, obviously, considering if you go onto TikTok, like, you'll see pages who make, like, 3 videos about her per day, and even here on YouTube, you'll see people talk about her, like, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and I keep it at 2. However, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, I'm, like, trying my hardest to, like, not solely make my channel just about that, because I've started to realize that whenever I talk about any other, you know, circumstances or situations about other people, then obviously my channel doesn't get as many views. And I feel like, damn, if I go down this slope of like, you know, talking about Ash Trevino more, than the only videos that get views are going to be the Ash Trevino ones. So I'm like, I need to tone it down a bit, but I do got to keep it real. Like, I still am invested. I do think that she is kind of making her way out of the spotlight. I feel like she has really kind of lost it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that she is talked about as much as she was. However, there are still so many things that I do personally want to talk about, because I am, you know, on that side of TikTok, so where like it still keeps popping up on my feed, you know. And honestly, I do have to say this too, like, I feel like, say for example, today we're going to be talking about Ash Trevino and like her, you know, beefing with Vale. I did make a video about it before, to where Vale was talking about her on her TikTok live, and then Ash Trevino had texted her. This is like a follow-up video, so this is where I find it a little bit difficult, that I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about her so much on my channel, but then I'm like, wait, this is a follow-up to that video, you know what I'm saying? So it makes it kind of difficult. So moving forward, I'm gonna try, like, in my perfect world, I'm gonna try to just like make one video about her every 2 weeks, which may be a little bit hard, okay? But I'm gonna try my hardest, because for those of you out there, okay, because I know that there are some of you guys that are like, okay, bitch, stop talking about Ash Trevino, and I totally get it. But I'm just so invested, y'all. Like, I feel like with Ash Trevino and Brianna Olsen, I'm invested, okay? And I'm like, I don't have too many people. I have like literally just one friend. Actually, I just have, yeah, literally one friend to talk about the drama with, like, you know, in my personal life. So that's why I'm like, I love making these videos, because I'm like so invested in the drama. But I'm gonna try my hardest to tone it down, okay? And I will start talking about other people. If there's anybody else that you guys want me to like talk about, or specific situations, please leave it down below in the comment section. I did actually mention this within my Patreon, link down below, by the way. I was like, who should I talk about? Because I don't want to talk about like just Ash Trevino and Brianna Olsen up on my channel. And then some people were saying like the Michael Duval situation, which the more that I looked into that, I'm not comfortable talking about that, okay? I'm keeping it real with you guys. I was like, this seems like illegal, okay? And I don't want to talk about that. Like, this shit that he was doing, like, I just, y'all, honestly, even when it came down to like James Charles and his drama, I didn't talk about that on my channel either, because I was like, I don't know if this is like some illegal shit, you know what I'm saying right here? I don't ever want to get into like that side on my channel of like being where defamation could happen, slander could happen, you know what I'm saying? Or say for example with this guy Michael Duval, if you guys know who he is, like some illegal ass shit. Like, I'm like, whoa, y'all, I don't want any of that. So the more I thought about it, I did watch videos about it, and I did learn about the situation. I was like, I don't want to talk about that. Like, that is like, if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. And that fool is disgusting, and I don't want to talk about that up on my channel. I feel like it's way too deep. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, today we are going to be talking about Ash Trevino. She's calling out Vale, which she's trying to say, like, I swear it's so crazy that, like, homegirl is so damn delusional. She swears that she made Brianna Olsen. She swears that she made Vale. But then, you know what's so funny, too, is that Santos swears that he made Vale and he made Bri. So I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, people try to take credit for all these people. And I really do feel like if you're in the social media realm, like, if you just stream every day, or if you just upload every day, or, like, whatever the case is, it's like, obviously you're making yourself. Like, these people are not making you. You know what I'm saying? I do feel, this is just my opinion, I feel like Ash Trevino, since she is, like, losing that spark, like, she's, you know, losing the buzz. No one's like, you know, keeping up with her like how they were. Like, I was like, actually, she went on stream the other day, and I went on there, and she only had 2,000 people in there. And yes, 2,000 people is a lot, okay? Because whenever I go live, I only got like 150 people in there. But 2,000 is a little bit for her, because while she was like going live, y'all, she was pulling in numbers. There was actually a couple times to where I was being nosy onto one of her lives, and she had like 50,000 people in her TikTok live. So it's like, to go from 50,000 to 2,000, obviously she's losing that buzz. So I think that she's trying to, like, you know, grasp at straws over here and kind of like throw a little bit shade and be, you know, a little bit grimy with these people, obviously, to get her name talked about and to, you know, bring some attention back to her lives. That's just my opinion. I do want to go ahead and start this video off with playing a clip to her to where she is talking about Vale and Bri. So check it out.
The girl that surfs couches. Yeah, that one. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that called me broke. I can live on my own. You can't. We're not the same. I don't have to send naked pictures of my body to make money. We're not the same. I have custody of my kids. I'm taking care of my kids. We're not the same. Call me broke all you want. At least I know my bills are paid and my kids are taken care of. I'll be broke. I'll give them my last dollar. Bree and them are the talk of this show because why? Everything they're doing is not right. That's why. They do it for money. They do it for clout. And I was thinking about this while I was sleeping. It was so weird. Vale, nobody knew who Valerie Arnold was, which is Vale, until she was a backseat girl in one of my lives. Nobody knew who Vale was. Nobody knew who Vale was. I gave you that clout, baby girl. You need to at least get on live and be like, you know what? I appreciate Ash. Thank you, Ash. Nobody knew who Valerie was. Nobody knew who Valerie was. I was live when we were going out with Santos, and she was in the backseat, happened to be backseat girl while I was on live, came up like, yeah. Nobody knew who she was. But now she thinks she's missed it because she's at the milk house, baby. You wouldn't be able to live at the house by yourself. You would not be able to afford nothing at the house. Do y'all know that she lived with her godfather before she moved to LA? The whole time we were like in San Antonio and all that? She was living in Terrell with her godfather. Her dad's best friend or something like that. Her mom was never in her life.
There, y'all heard it from right there. She is saying that these girls are the talk of the town right now because everything that they're doing is not right. I have to say, like, the level of delusion that comes out of homegirl's mouth is actually insane. Like, low-key, there's some times that I, like, watch clips of her and I'm like, I kind of feel like maybe she should be in, like, a psychiatric ward because I'm like, how are you getting up on the internet and saying what they're doing is not right? But then look at her. Like, y'all, I don't know if you guys checked out my last Ash Trevino video to where she was, like, literally saying that she never goes onto TikTok Live and she's not on TikTok Live like how Hefa is. And the fact that she's like, no, I have, like, daughters to tend to. And I'm like, she, like, a day later, she ended up being in the hospital with her daughter and she's on TikTok Live. Her daughter's literally in the hospital and she's on TikTok Live. I'm like, are you okay? Do you know what I'm saying? And let's go ahead and keep it real here, okay? Ash Trevino saying that anybody, what they're doing is in the wrong is absolutely insanity because it's just kind of like, girl, you have done so many things wrong. Like, the fact that she gets up on the internet and she says so many crazy things and does so many crazy things, and she's gonna go over here and talk about Brie and Vale and say like, oh, everything that they're doing is so wrong. But I'm like, look at you, girl. Also, I do want to go ahead and play another clip to where she is talking about Vale a little bit more because I guess she tries to say that she has like some footage or something like that. So basically that she could put out there because she swears that Vale is like lying about this whole like doorstep situation, which if you guys don't know, she went viral on TikTok because she like literally door dashed her kids and like left them on the damn porch, rang the doorbell and then ran off, which I think is so crazy, y'all. I am so sorry. Like, I know a lot of people found it funny because really, like, if you look at it, like, low-key, the shit was funny because she literally just put her baby in the car seat on the damn porch, rang the doorbell, and then ran off. Like, it was just kind of funny, but then, like, low-key, it's like, when you really think about it, it's like, oh my god, girl, like, that's kind of crazy. You're literally ditching your baby. So Ash Trevino, I guess, apparently knows a little bit more about this situation, and she does talk about it a little bit more. But I'm just keeping it with you right now. I feel like because Vale is like coming up a little bit more on the views within the TikTok live space, also as well as Kick too, I think that Ash Trevino wants to talk about her a little bit more, especially because if you guys didn't check out my last video to where Vale was calling out Ash Trevino and supposedly Ash Trevino had texted her, I feel like that's why she's carrying it on. Which I gotta say, in my personal opinion, I don't really think that like Ash Trevino texted her right away because the timing of everything, if you guys checked out that clip that I'm talking about, I was like, no, I just kind of don't believe this because like she was talking about Ash Trevino like, oh, is she like even relevant anymore? Does she even go on live anymore? Which after just literally like, I want to say 2 days before that, that's when she had gotten banned from her main account on TikTok. So I'm like, Vale knew about that. You know what I'm saying? So obviously she was just being a little bit facetious, being a little bit shady. And I was just kind of like, okay, it's so weird that like Ash Trevino is gonna be in her live and then she texts her right away. It seemed a little played up to me. In my personal opinion, that's just me. But anyways, of course, Ash Trevino is gonna carry this on a little bit more for, you know, like clicks and views, and I totally understand it, but check it out.
I just don't like the drama anymore. Like, I'm older than all of them, like Brie, Vale, all of them. I'm older than them. So, I'm letting them do their thing, you know? Like, I was actually looking at the recordings on my phone that I'm on. Thank you for the roses. On the phone that I'm on right now, I was listening to the recordings that Vale did to the police because it was the police or the detective. And it literally, she explains the whole situation about her baby and like dropping her kid off at the doorstep. I actually heard it yesterday. And like, I have that whole recording of her telling the officer. So some of what she does tell y'all is true, but some of it is like kind of switched around a little bit. But yeah, I have that recording on here. And I actually blocked her on TikTok because she thinks she's like this famous person now. And before y'all knew her as what? The backseat. Because I was on live, and she decided to do something. So yeah, I just don't think like she shows y'all who she really is. She wants y'all to feel sorry for her, and a lot of y'all do feel sorry for her. But again, your baby daddy told you to come pick up your kids on that day, and you told him no.
So as you guys saw from right there, she is saying that she was going through the recordings, okay, on her phone, and apparently she has some more things that are not accurate, okay, which I'm just kind of like, low-key, if you're going to talk about it, just put it out there. Because here's my theory on it, okay? I know that obviously some people allude to some things, but when you're actually getting out there and saying, like, no, I got these recordings, I got this, and that, like, just go ahead and put it out there. Because obviously if you're talking about it, be about it and show it. You know what I'm saying? My little theory over here is that I feel like people do this type of shit, obviously, to get people talking, you know, like, oh shit, like, what does she have? Myself included, okay? I literally am, like, looking at this and I'm just kind of like, oh, what do you have, girl? Like, let us know. Also, I didn't even know that there was, like, a police report filed about this whole entire situation. I'm kind of confused about that. That's news to me because as far as I knew, I thought, like, she just, like, you know, ditched her baby at the doorstop and then, like, took off. But, like, what police report is she exactly, like, talking about? I'm a little bit confused about that. Anyways, I will let you guys know at the end of this video, I am going to try my hardest to not talk about Ash Trevino so much, but this was obviously like a follow-up because I made that first one, only because like I don't want to tire you guys out, you know what I'm saying? So please let me know down below if there's any other people that you would like me to talk about, because I am open to suggestions, okay? So anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.